As a kid, the first thing I can remember listening to would be the Sound of Music soundtrack. And in particular, one track that stood out was The Lonely Goat Herder. It just fascinated me. The whole record fascinated me and made me want to sing, I suppose. I think that's what inspired me. Obviously, along the way, I'm inspired by lots of other things, but that was the initial first thing. I was with this agency from Manchester, and I was asked to do a fashion show, and it was at the Ritz. It was rubbish, this fashion show. But while that was all going on, there was a band on stage, and it just looked interesting. So I went over and said, "What's happening here then?" And it was like, "Well, we're auditioning for singers for a new band. Are you interested?" I was like, yeah. So I go to the manager. "Hi, I'd like to audition. Can you sing?" Yeah. "Can you do harmonies?" Yeah. I'd never sung anywhere before. "Yeah, I can do everything." "Can you dance?" "Yes." "Do it all." "Okay, and he said, if you sing half as, actually, I've got to do the voice as well. "If you sing half as good as you look, you're in." Right, with a big cigar in his hand. And basically, I had to go away and come back in 2 weeks. And after learning 2 songs, well, it was We Are Family and Lost in Music by Sister Sledge. So I went away, learned the songs, came back, and I'm just abysmal. Because it was with a live band as well. I'd never sung with a live band. And then he went, "Okay, thank you." I was like, shame. So I'm trying to slink out. I don't even want to talk to anyone. I'm just trying to get out the door. And I just heard, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I've not got it, have I?" He goes, "Actually, you have. You've got the job." Okay. And we just went up and down the country singing to cassettes, just doing covers in really big, massive clubs like your Ritzies and your Roxys. And it taught me so much about being on stage, working with a mic. The manager's phrase was, "Get right up to the mic, get right up to an SM58. So I learned so much, and it carried me through for my very first proper gig, which was with a band I was with, Fifth of Heaven, supporting Maze at Wembley Arena. I remember we're doing the sound check, and there's a black box there's 2 black boxes in front of me. And I've said to the bass player, "What are these?" And he goes, "They're your monitors." I said, "Me what?" "They're your monitors." "Well, what are they for?" "Well, so you can hear yourself." I said, "I can hear myself." He said, "This is Led Zeppelin's PA, right? You need that to hear yourself." And so my first item is, because I'm a hoarder as well, my passes, my passes for that actual tour. There's only 5 of them here, but there was 9 gigs. It's actually good being a singer in a band because you've got the least equipment to carry. In fact, you don't even have to carry anything because there's always a mic there ready for you at the gig. I remember doing an interview when I was with Fifth of Heaven, and the interviewer asked me, "So what kind of microphone do you use?" And I actually sat there, and I can't even believe I sat there and said this, but I said, "It's black on one side and silver on the other, and it looks like an ice cream cone." And as I'm saying it, I just thought, you sound like an idiot. You should. Why do you not know what mic you're using? What you're just turning up and just singing and then going home. Know what you're doing. So I now know that was an AKG 414. And so since then, I've always been interested in microphones and how they work. And I always vowed that if I could get one, my ultimate microphone would be a Neumann U47. So I got one. This is my favorite all-time microphone. The U87 is great as well, but this microphone makes my voice sound really good. That's it, basically. While I was with Primal Scream, I managed to get a record deal, and the first single that I released was called Rays of the Rising Sun, and it had really great remixes as well, by The Joy, K-Class, and guitar by Johnny Marr. And this was a song that I co-wrote with an up-and-coming young producer called Dave Tolan. We co-produced it and we co-wrote it together. And it did really well, actually. It went top 40, and I'm really proud of it. It was a good time. I've sang with quite a few Manchester bands, like I've already mentioned, The Joy, who remixed my first single. I then ended up singing with people like Electronic, Johnny Marr and Bernard Sumner. And they were friends with a certain ratio who I was also singing with at the time. It's really weird. Everything seems to read like a book, whereby someone's heard me singing on one thing and then it's led to the next. I've been very lucky like that, and I'm really appreciative of it. My favourite experience? Actually, there's two that I can think of straight away out of many. One has got to be touring the United States with Depeche Mode, with Primal Scream. And I think the second one is something very recent. I did Kendall Calling, and I'd never done a festival as me before. So this was like the first festival. And the love and the support from the crowd was just overwhelming. I feel like crying now, actually. It was actually overwhelming. There's only one person in the audience that goes, do you know what? I connected with that and I felt something from that. That'd be enough for me. It doesn't have to be everyone. It really doesn't. I'm doing it because I love singing. It's just absolutely amazing. I'm just really lucky, and I don't forget it.